You've waited for almost 30 years. 3 whole decades. She canceled that date, that didn't happen much, put work aside for a while, emptied the fridge for the popcorn session, and chose her most comfortable sweatshirt, the one that's already a little old but smells like good memories. All because today, yes, today is the big day. Happy Gilmore is back. In his mind, it is the epic reunion, the triumphant return of the comedy that marked the 90s. You imagine yourself laughing out loud with those absurd jokes, the mischief of Happy, the crazy Shooter McGavin trying to make you mad, all as if time hadn't passed. But reality hits like a golf club flying. Instead, you watch a reunion of tired actors, desperately trying to revive a mood stuck in the year 2002. It seems that the joke died, but no one had the courage to bury it. You expected laughter, but what comes is an unexpected existential crisis. You find yourself thinking about how much video stores made sense when things were simple and play was a sacred ritual. Now, nostalgia has become a product, a commodity sold in small slices with Netflix's exclusive seal. What about you? Oh, you're just another happy and deceived consumer who played thinking he was going to have fun and ended up falling into an emotional trap packed with flashbacks and speeches that don't match a golf club. In the end, you realize you're not watching the Happy Gilmore you knew, you're watching a movie that uses your past to sell something that didn't need to be sold, and the popcorn. It's not even that good. You thought you had control, that he could choose what to watch, skip scenes, give up whenever he wanted, that streaming was this modern marvel that gave you total freedom. Spoiler, it's not. You're not in the driver's seat anymore. You've become a passenger with no route, stuck on a roller coaster that only goes forward. Because, in fact, you are no longer the spectator. It has become hostage to nostalgia, a piece of a puzzle made by cold algorithms that know exactly how to keep you glued to the screen. Netflix analyzed your clicks, your likes, your emotional size. And the system decided, if he liked the first one, hold him on the second one, then the third. And he doesn't forget the animated spin-off. You can even play a mobile game with Happy Gilmore. You believed you were free, that he could let go of the controller and choose something else. But the algorithm does not forget. It remembers everything you've watched, every second, every laugh, and he uses it against you in an invisible prison made up of suffocating recommendations. His taste became a trap. His longing became a bargaining chip. In the end, you thought it was just another silly comedy, a fleeting diversion. But without realizing it, you found yourself living inside it in an endless loop, repeating the same joke, stuck in a sequence that insists on continuing. This is exactly where everything starts to go wrong. The physical humor that once made you laugh has now become that chronic pain that no one wants to feel, like that low back pain that appears out of nowhere in the middle of the game. Irreverence, which was the beating heart of comedy, has turned into a melancholy that makes you question if you haven't wasted time in your life. And the script, the script became one of those bingo cards, only instead of numbers, it has cameos that look more like a who wants to appear in the movie. The absurdity isn't just in the story itself, it's in the fact that someone, somewhere, looked at this whole mess and said with conviction, okay, you can send it for editing. Screenwriters who forgot how to make people laugh, producers who just wanted nostalgia, costumes that looked like they came out of a confusing thrift store, and direction that maybe was busy watching Netflix elsewhere, everyone approved of this confusion. And the most bizarre, they decided to give the golf club depth. Yes, the bat, that object that was just a tool, became a character with its own backstory, emotions, and drama. You thought you'd seen it all, but this journey is just beginning. What was supposed to be a joke became a story to thrill even the bat itself. Want to continue this journey through the absurd and laugh or cry together? So subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and come with me to unravel this nostalgia saga sold as comedy. Because here, we're not afraid to speak our minds. And you don't want to miss the next chapter of this mess. Golf is dead. Yes, you heard that right. You thought you were going to watch a sports comedy full of shenanigans and tacos flying to and fro. But what they delivered was a TED Talk with a golf club in the role of an emotional therapist. No outrageous laughter, just that let's talk about deep feelings while the ball slowly rolls vibe. Sport, which was once pure fun, has become a metaphor for everything you didn't want to hear after work. The bat, it became a walking trauma. And the 18th hole, a melancholic analogy about the end of youth, as if each shot was a farewell to his own joie de vivre. You wanted to replay the epic scenes, those unforgettable shots, the fights on the field, the controlled chaos that only Happy Gilmore knows how to create. But did he win? Emotional development, video self-help, and an intensive trauma healing session that even your therapist didn't ask for. The sport was just bait to catch his attention. The spark that made it all worth it was extinguished. And what was left? The warm ember of other people's shame, which burns only the pride of those who still remember how fun it was. What about you? What did you think of this twist? Tell us in the comments, what was the moment that made you want to turn off the TV or hold the control tighter? I want to know your story because the saga doesn't stop here. It is at this moment that he understands. Standing there, with the remote control in his hand, the popcorn already cold and his gaze lost between an unfunny joke and an awkward silence. He realizes it's not about the movie, it never was. It's about him, about your choices or the illusion that you still have them. You thought you were in charge. Who clicked there of his own volition, moved by nostalgia, by the promise of reliving a time when everything seemed simpler, but the truth is different. You were just another number on the production spreadsheet. Yet another statistic in PowerPoint of a meeting full of smiling executives with Power Rangers in the background. A silent vote in the ballot box of the absurd that said, yes, we want Happy Gilmore too, because why not? And it's not just that the movie is bad, it's worse. It is symbolic. It represents the collapse of hope, the exact moment you realize you're stuck, trapped in a cycle of sequels that no one asked for. Of recycled ideas smelling of digital mold, of soulless streaming pushing content as if it were icy, fast food? You haven't seen a movie. You witnessed a ritual sacrifice of originality, the slow death of creativity, staged in 4K with a dramatic soundtrack and sepia filter. And now, trapped in this maze, you understand where you are. Welcome to hell. Here, every day there is a release. Every day, a new promise. And nothing, absolutely nothing, it never ends. It doesn't matter what you say. You can complain on Twitter, write text on Reddit, or even cancel the subscription, swearing that this time, it's serious. None of this matters. Because the system has already fed on your nostalgia. It has already stored your click, your curiosity, your watch time. And now, he's going to wear it forever. The machine does not forget, and she loves it when you miss it. This is where many give up. Going back to the couch as someone who returns to a toxic relationship just because he remembers how good it was in the beginning, they go back to the looping, to the warm embrace of repetition, for the anesthetized comfort of watching just one more episode even though I know it will hurt, because, in the end, this isn't just about bad movies, it's about the algorithm. But it's also about you, about the hole that the 90s comedy left, about that void you try to fill with sequences that should never have existed. You may have even run away from the algorithm, turned off the TV, hid the control, but he did not run away from his own mind. She still associates that name, that song, that scene with a time when everything seemed lighter. And the system knows it. It tastes better than you. He knows your habits, your weaknesses, and it's ready to offer more. Always more. Because when it comes to selling nostalgia, the factory never closes. The time has come. The point of no return. The cursor stays there, flashing on the screen. Next episode in 5 seconds. But it doesn't move. Not this time. Because either he turns it off for good, or becomes another nameless face in the sea of sequels. A soul lost in the pixelated eternity of franchises that don't know how to die. The truth is simple and painful. You've never been tied to the platform. It was never streaming. It was hope. The comforting illusion that something as simple as a movie could, by magic, go back to being what it once was. The taste of childhood, the laughter without cynicism, the VHS glow. You pressed play wanting that, but it did get an emotional talk with recycled jokes and uncomfortable CGI this time. He chose to leave. He got up from the couch as if waking up from a trance. Hung up, and in the silence of the room, with the blue light still fading on the screen, he finally remembered. The past is memory, not product. It's not something that can be resold, upgraded, and packaged with cameos. You don't have to keep watching. Don't just watch. Wake up. And if you also felt like you wasted time with this sequence disguised as a tribute, Shares show it to someone who still thinks Happy Gilmore. Needed a sequel? Maybe there's still time to save a friend, a father, a neighbor, another subscriber, ... from the hell of nostalgia sold.